Hello, Africa. My name is Eunice Tony, and you are watching eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. This is the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. How have you been? Wow, I really feel excited to be with you today because I have a very wonderful topic for us to discuss. We've already started the conversation on social media and all your comments and feedback have all been noted. We're going to have a great time today. Our guest is in and she's ready to also dish out, all the information that you need around the questions that have been raised on our social media platforms. Okay, so some people actually have been helping me to put this program together, and I'd like to say a very big thank you to them. Or let's say I'll say a big thank you to them very soon, and I'd like you to appreciate them as well because it's not very easy having to package this program. Our sponsors are Vortic, and Vortic says naturally, whenever you're thirsty, I'd like you to think Vortic first, because when it comes to getting you refreshed naturally, Vortic should be your choice. But one thing about Vortic is that it says that if you've taken Vortic, do not litter the streets of Ghana, or do not litter anywhere it is that you are. So they have actually placed bins in vantage positions where you could just drop them once you're done. Don't you see how lovely Vortic is? Thank you so much, Vortic, for being so environmentally friendly. And I want to ask you a question. What kind of tomato mix have you been using to prepare your jollof, your stews? What kind of tomato mix have you been using? I'm listening. Okay, yeah, I hear what are you saying, lazy? Did I hear you say lazy? Yes. Lazy tomato mix should be what you should be talking about right now because it has gotten a very wonderful taste that is revolutionizing how people are cooking in Ghana and in Africa. The beautiful thing about Lizzie's tomato paste is that you can't make mistakes with it. If you cook with it, anybody who tastes your food will say, wow, this must be Lizzie's tomato paste. So if you want to purchase Lizzie's tomato paste, I'd like you to give a call to 050-140-1085 or 033-2095-314. Hey, my dear, if you haven't tried Lizzie's tomato paste, you really need to rush to your nearest vendor to get it. Adi will fear all your fedodo, and let Lizzie's tomato paste be the one that is in your fear. If you don't know what fear means, I mean in your home, okay? All right, my hair is looking fabulous, and I want to say a very big thank you to the one who has been putting it together all this while. You are amazing. Awu's hair. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to be linking you up right now to the 60 seconds update where we talk to you about what's happening with women in Ghana, Africa, and across the world. No matter where you are, if you're an African woman, our lenses will definitely catch up with you. So do stick and stay as we bring you the 60 seconds update.
Dr. Erajua Ahima Nunu is a senior medical officer who works at Trust Hospital in Osu. She uses mass media, radio and television, as well as social media, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram to educate the people on current health issues. Not only does she use the media in educating people, but also gives health talks in schools, churches and marketplaces. During the Youth Excellence Awards in 2019, she was awarded Health Personality of the Year for the outstanding work she has been doing. Over the weekend, she was awarded the President's Outstanding Youth Prize 2020 by the President. She took to her social media handle to dedicate the award to her patients, fans, and followers for the support they gave her during her journey. She also said, "I am humbled to receive an award for excellence in medicine from the President of the Millennium Excellence Award Ambassador, Ashim Morton, and his team. Hard work really pays." 11 selected KIAs will undergo skills training to create employment opportunities in their communities to improve livelihood. The beneficiaries are young girls who are working as KIAs in Accra and Kumasi to support their families. At a derba in Kakpajili, a community in the Tamale metropolis of the northern region, the beneficiaries were presented with equipment and materials needed to start their training. The gesture forms part of livelihood empowerment for migrants Returnees, a pilot project under the Health Cities for Adolescents (HCA) project, being implemented by the Regional Institute of Population Studies of the University of Ghana. This is aimed at improving the health and general well-being of adolescents toward achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in the Tamale metropolis. Martha Bisa, Youth Olympics gold-winning medalist, has called on the President of Ghana to investigate the Ghana Athletics Association and other associations linked to athletics in Ghana. Martha Bisa, who was suspended indefinitely by the Ghana Athletics Association for indiscipline and bringing the name of the association into disrepute. According to her, the Ghana Athletics Association care less about athletes who travel outside the country, and that has affected their relationship with them. Despite winning the gold at the Youth Olympics in 2014, Martha Bisa disclosed that she knows nothing about the president of Ghana Olympic Committee, Ben Nunumensa, and will want the president to investigate them. Actress and movie producer Yvonne Nelson has sent a word of advice for party foot soldiers who have been protesting over the results of the 2020 elections. Since the winner of the 2020 presidential polls, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was declared by the Electoral Commission chairperson Jean Mensa on the 9th of December 2020. The supporters of the opposition party have taken to the streets to hold demonstrations, but Yvonne Nelson does not believe this is the right thing to do, knowing how some of the demonstrations have resulted in fights causing injuries and even deaths. She shared on her social media page some of her concerns and asked people not to engage in these political disputes and wished everyone a Merry Christmas.
On behalf of the Electoral Commission of Ghana, I warmly welcome all of you to today's Let the Citizen Know encounter. The purpose of today's Let the Citizen Know is to brief you on the final voters register ahead of the 2020 election. That the final voters register has a total of 17,027,641 registrants who are eligible to vote come the 7th of December 2020. Of the total number of registered voters, females constitute 8,810,283, representing 51.74% of the total register, whilst males amount to 8,217,358, representing 48.26% of the total register.
Thank you very much, Madam Chairperson. So she said it. We've got more women representing us and actually voting in this election 2020 more than the men. So that is to say that women are really contributing to the electoral process. Right now, we're spoken to by the chairperson, who is a woman. And the topic for today is the role of women in Ghana election 2020. So that's why we've given you a prelude to the conversation. So now that we know that we have more women registered to vote in Ghana election 2020, we are going to be delving into the conversation a lot better. And to help me do that, we have our affable guest. And she's no other person than Beatrice. Beatrice, how are you? I'm very good too, and you look lovely.
Thank you so much, and you do same. I just love your African print, you know.
And I'm loving your necklace as well.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
It's just a touch, the African touch.
Nice, and it's really working out well.
Thank you.
Okay, so we actually played a footage to, for our audience, for them to understand what we're going to be talking about today, the role that women are playing. And now we know that registered people for this election had even much more women.
51%.
51%. That's whooping. Wonderful, and well done to all the women in Ghana. We say, yeah, Ayiko, keep doing you. Okay, so that brings us to a question or a term that has been used over time. So could we look at this term, as part of our conversation? It has to do with the Affirmative Action Bill. Now, maybe certain people may understand what the Affirmative Action Bill is all about, but not all. So for someone watching us right now who doesn't really understand what the Affirmative Action Bill is all about, we will need you to explain that to the person.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I will build a basis to it, okay?
Okay.
And I'll pick it from the 1992 Constitution, which actually guarantees gender equality and freedom of women, girls, men, and boys. And when it comes to the freedom, you're looking at freedom from any form of discrimination on the basis of social or economic status. Okay, so that is a basic foundation that I'll take it from. Now, if you look at what the Constitution says, it says that freedom from any form of discrimination, and it does make mention of women, men, boys, and girls. It's a way of what we call affirmative action, because here you are talking about equal representation at the decision-making table. It says that if you want to express or express an opinion, you have that liberty because it's enshrined in the Constitution to do that. Now, when you talk about affirmative action, you're looking at measures that governments, institutions have, I would use the word intentionally, put in place. And here when you're talking about intentionally, you're looking at legislative measures. You're looking at institutional measures that governments, institutions, be they political, social, economic, among others, have put in place to ensure that there's that sort of equality when it comes to men and women in the decision-making process, in our governance process, among others. And it talks also about the fact that women should be able to have that right to own property. Women should have that right to rise up to higher managerial positions if they are qualified to do so. And then also, this particular bill, we are looking at certain sort of quotas where in situations where we have some jobs that are tagged as masculine jobs, okay, and we don't have a lot of women in there, it makes room for women to come in there, okay? So basically, that's what this whole affirmative action bill I would say is. And its proponents are actually seeking to correct the, should I say, imbalances that are in society, the injustices that have been made, especially to the marginalized groups in society. Now, I would say that most often when you talk about affirmative action, people think that you're actually pitting men, women against men. But that is not it. All we are saying is that, look, we need that sort of equal representation at the table.
Yeah, especially when we have more women registered to vote here in Ghana.
It's not that simple. it's not that simple, you know. It is true that we have a lot more women who voted, especially this 2020 elections, which according to the Electoral Commission, when I checked on their website, was constituted 51% as against our male counterparts. But all we are saying is that we are not pitting men against women against men. Okay. All we are saying is that let's create a level playing field where we have women and men at the decision-making processes. When it comes to public policy, let's have women's input, which is balanced, okay, in public policy. When it comes to the economic aspect, women should be able to earn the same amount of money that men do for the same work. Okay, in other jurisdictions, I think Ghana, we're doing fairly well in that aspect when it comes to the economic side, where women and men tend to earn virtually equal amounts when it comes to work done. In some other jurisdictions, you have a man doing one work, the woman does the same work, but she earns lesser. Okay, and so how do you correct these imbalances? That is one aspect we need to look at. In our political system, what is the representation like? Remember that you said we have 51, a lot more women voting, meaning that they want their voices to be heard, okay? Now, if these women want their voices to be heard, are they at the table to actually contribute to the public policy processes that we need, public policies that we need? If currently we have, at the moment we have 37 women parliamentarians, and in parliament, we have 275 seats. Out of that, only 35 are women. Is it a fair representation of the voices of women at the table? That is a discourse now we're having. And so most of the activists for affirmative action are pushing and saying that, look, it is just fair that women and men are at par when it comes to governance, when it comes to our political system, when it comes to public policy. And let's remember that women and men are partners in the development process. If you bring one party up and you relegate the other party to the background, you tend to have a gap that is created. So what you would want if you want to develop a country is to make sure that all the parties involved, women, men, boys, girls, you carry everybody along so that one party is not relegated or is not set aside while another party progresses. And that's why I said it is not about pitting women against men, but it's about bringing both parties to the table to enhance the development that we want as a nation.
Right. So somebody at home may be asking this question. Okay, if we put them both together, do we really have women who are even interested or competent who want to fill these positions? We're going to be finding that out after this commercial break. Do stay tuned.
2020, 4 years for Nana. 2020, 4 years for Nana. 2020.
Isani Papa Incurred Abba a palace ni Papa Bine.
When you green book, you got catch them. Where's them come from? You drop a walking out.
I trust that these items, which I bring to you today, will go a long way to improve the quality of care in this facility. I thank you all very much. About 2016, I can free SHS. Many people free SHS. University, free SHS now.
And you're welcome back to the studios of eTV. This is eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. If you're just joining us, we are discussing women in Ghana election 2020. And we have discussed what affirmative action bill is all about and how we are looking for equal representation of women and men when it comes to our politics, especially because it was found out and it has been realized from research, according to Jean Mensah, that we had more women registered to vote. So since we had more women voting this time around, it it calls the attention that we need to also have more women also speaking when it comes to where power lies in Ghana. And then we talked about how women have also contributed to the campaigns. We just watched Rebecca Nane-Akufo-Addo and what she did for the NPP and how she was able to garner some kind of support for the MP in Okaigwe South. She eventually won anyway. So we are going to be going over to the side of the NDC to also see what Nana was able to garner for the NDC. And the interesting thing about where Nana went to is that she came to a place that was highly religious. It's a place in Accra that we know that we've got a lot of people who are religious, and religion somehow looks at women being very submissive and also stepping back a bit. But let's see how people welcomed her when she got to Nima. You're welcome back. And from what we watch right now, it goes a long way to say that women in Ghana are very interested in what's happening to them. They are interested in politics, and we should not just shove them to the side. Look at the kind of crowd women were able to garner, and see the women support also that was also in the crowd. A lot of times people go by some saying that women always pull each other down. That's not the case from what we have seen here. Women do support themselves and will continue to support each other. Beatrice, from what we've seen so far, it means that women are very interested in what's going on, you know, around them in their society. However, in the case of Ghana, we still are not finding a lot more women coming forward. We know that there are some inhibitions. Maybe religion is part of the inhibition, and the fact that politics even actually is played right from the home, where you have the Ebusiapane being the man, and you know everybody has got to respect the Ebusiapane, and hardly would you ever find a female Ebusiapane. So right from our families as well, or culturally, we have made it in such a way that the men have to always take the lead. Are there other reasons why you think that women are not getting into this space, despite the kind of support they are going to get when they come into that space?
You know, it's quite interesting what you made mention of, the patriarchal nature of our society. It boils down to our culture, our social norms that we have. You see, power is reposed in the man. The man is seen as the protector, the strong person in society. The woman is seen more as a caregiver, the submissive one in society. Now, when it happens this way, it means that there is some sort of stereotype that has been built up in our system, which needs to be worked on. Okay? And so we start from, just as you mentioned, from the family unit. If we come to our family system, how does society view a woman who is in politics? If you are the outspoken woman, how are you perceived to be? Are you perceived to be arrogant? To be insolent? How does society perceive you to be as compared to a man who is also outspoken? Society perceives you to behave in a certain way as a woman. And so when you go contrary to what society perceives you to be, then it's sort of a violation, I'll put it in quotes, a violation of the norm.
And where contrary actually is a woman being outspoken,
confident, where you just view your opinions as they are, where a woman can say that, look, I want to contest for the seat. And sometimes in certain jurisdictions, contesting against a man, it's not heard of. Okay, so you ask yourself again, for us as a society, where have we gone wrong? Is there a way we can reverse the situation? Now, you asked what is impeding women. One of the key issues I would look at, aside this patriarchal challenge that we have in society, has to do with in our political system, monetization of our politics. If I say monetization, we're looking at the amount of money that is pumped into our politics. Let's not forget that if you look at our women, women also tend to, even if you are a corporate woman, and you are married at home, you're still a caregiver. Okay? And so if you're a caregiver at home, it means that the monies that you earn, the whole, every normal wife will tell you that, Misika dear, still chop money in it, I still need it. Okay? So look at the amount of money that our women earn. Do they have enough to go into politics? Now, I did a bit of research just because I wanted to be sure how much cost our politics. And this I picked from a study that was conducted by Westminster Foundation for Democracy and eTVGhana. And it's on the cost of politics in Ghana. Okay, I find this interesting looking at the figures that came up. It says that on average, the average cost incurred on campaigns pitting men against women. For a woman, you have a woman spending on average about 82,207 for an average, let's say, campaign. And then for a man, you have the man going the extent of 112,740. Okay. Now, also, there was another interesting thing that came up. The average cost incurred on party workers. So let's say if a woman is campaigning and needs party workers, the cost that a woman will incur on the party workers from the figures that I picked up is 6,588. When you compare that to a man, for the male it is pegged as 44,110.
As against 6,000?
As against 6,000.
Wow.
So a man on average incurs a lot more cost on party workers than a woman in politics. That is how expensive our politics in Ghana is. And this was actually figures from 2016, the 2016 parliamentary elections that we held in Ghana here. Now, my issue is this. If it is this expensive for a woman who has, let's say, 3 or 4 kids at home, and she's more concerned about the fact that her kids need to eat, would you invest that money in campaigning or in feeding your kids?
That's a very tough
So
point.
it is expensive. And that is one of the factors that deter a lot of women from going into politics.
Okay, so not cutting you, I remember you were saying something about how we view women in politics. And it's driving me back towards what the chairpersons are actually facing right now. We had a former chairperson who was a female, and the current one is also female. And the question is, it looks like there's a lot of shaming that comes even after their declaration. So I don't think I saw that much shaming when a man was occupying that position. So what would you have to say about a situation like this, where after the women have actually declared who is the winner, it looks like, okay, let's all say things about this person and make her feel down or bad?
Well, I wouldn't specifically say that maybe it's a woman factor. I'll rather put it probably on the fact that both political parties, let's take Charlotte Osei Turner, okay, probably the NPP might have thought that because she was appointed by the then NDC leadership, then it means that she is doing the bidding of the party in power. And it's the same thing that we're experiencing currently with this particular regime, where we have a declaration by Jane Mensah, but she's been attacked because the NDC now suspects that she's doing the bidding of the government in power. So here, for me, I would say it's a suspicious game that both political parties are playing. As to whether it's because they are women, I think it's a bit too early to say. Maybe if we should go into election 2024, we can then analyze and say, oh, okay, Jane has had 2 opportunities to declare who and who would be winner. And so if based on 2020 declaration and based on 2024 declaration, we look at the trends that come up, then we can say, oh, okay, a lot more of the attacks came in because she's female, but we can't rule that out totally. The fact that she's female could also play a role, but I wouldn't say specifically that she's been attacked
Because she's
of,
woman.
yes, there are certain issues that have come up which needs rather to be delved into. And so for me, I always say that, look, our politics should be devoid of personality attacks, but rather should be based on issues. So what are the issues that are being raised here?
Okay.
There are issues of discrepancies that some members of the NDC are raising. As to whether they are true or false, I think there's a process that the political parties know how to go through and which they must utilize to ensure that, to get the sort of response or feedback that they need. So that's what I would say in that context.
Thank you very much. We're going to be going for another quick commercial break. When we return, we'll be looking at how Ghana's parliament is looking with women. Do stay tuned. Are we on air? I was asking whether we're on air. Are we on air now? Yes, so we'll be speaking to it. We'll be speaking to it. You're welcome back to eTV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. Now we want you to take a look at women who will be in Parliament as from January when they are sworn in. So let's take a look at them. Okay. So, Beatrice, what would you say comes out for you here? I would say that Dakwa from Okankwe South constituency really has made giant strides. She competed against Amana and she made it. And this is her first time, you know, in this space. And it looks like there's a lot of support for her from the people who are within her constituency. Who amongst these other women would you say also stands out for you?
I mean, for me, I'll go with my favorite two.
Okay.
Osla Owusu and then Zenato.
Okay.
So one from the opposition, one from the ruling government, you know. Zenata, we see her as, if you look at how she came in, she is the daughter of our late former president, Jerry John Rawlings. And even with her background as a medical doctor, she comes in also with a very strong personality. She's more of a people's person. She's always on the ground with the people.
And
you
she's
see
actually the MP of where we are right
exactly.
now. Exactly.
So you see her a lot of the time on the ground with the people. And she tends to attract a lot of the people, of the masses, or a lot of the electorate, if I should put it that way. Now look at somebody also like Osla, a legal person or with a legal background. She also comes across as a very strong personality, you know, somebody who has been in the system for quite some time now, and she's a current communications minister. Yes. Now, Osla is also one person who I would say, looking at her constituency, it's also a strong constituency. And she has made a lot of inroads. She's not afraid to compete with her peers, her male competitors, if I should put it that way. And then in Parliament, she says her issues or put across her stance as it should be. So when you look at somebody like Zenato and Osla, for me, these two in Parliament, I think it will be a very interesting new parliamentary session we should be expecting quite soon. And basically, I think that's what I would say about the two. If you also look at other personalities, we have Sarah Adjoa Safo, also coming in again, and she's the first ever female deputy majority leader that we have in our parliament, and she'll be back again. She's back again when the new parliament also resumes, the 8th parliament resumes. For our freshers, if I should put them that way, for me, it's interesting. I want to hear more of their voices, because often it's the same familiar faces that you hear their voices on the ground.
True.
You don't usually hear a lot more of the females. I was talking to a male colleague, and he said, look, it's as if sometimes in Parliament, the women have been asked not to talk.
They hardly talk.
Because they hardly talk. Okay, now if you're representing your people, you're putting across what their needs are, what they want to be done in terms of policies from government for them. Okay, so if you go to parliament and you don't talk, and we're talking about representation here in the decision-making process. So if you don't contribute to the decision-making process, then I think that you are doing a great disservice to your constituents. So it would be the right thing for our new MPs, female MPs, to go into parliament and make sure that their voice is heard. Even if you don't have anything at all to say, at least saying even your name is okay. It's better to say something than not to say anything at all. Let your people see you, let them feel that you are actually putting across their sentiments, putting across the sort of policies that they need to make their lives better.
Okay, so let's take a look at how Ghana's parliament, in terms of women representation, is doing in Africa. Okay, so we have a particular study here, research that has been, that's it over there, and it's actually telling us how it is looking like in Africa. We have for the green area 30 to 40%. If we have such representation, then you're in the green color. As for the lemon, it's nowhere at all across the world. And we have 40 to 50% in the pink area. But what interests me very well is there's a red spot there. That's Ghana. For those of you who are watching us from home, Ghana has no color, which is to say that even though we feel that we are beginning to get a lot more women into our parliament, it's not really gotten to the point where we say, okay, we can pat ourselves on the back. Okay, but there's something else that happened also in our parliament that I want us to take a look at. Usually, people see women who are in position or women in politics to be the ones that cannot be submissive. But interestingly, we had a woman who, once she lost the election, she just conceded and said, okay, I lost to a man, I didn't do well this time, I'm looking out for a better time. I think that's in Navrongo. Can we have her put up on screen? I want to say a very big thank you to you for conceding and for accepting that, okay, you've lost, and you just have to move on and to greater things. And we are hoping that come the next election, you also come back again, and probably you could get it. But you're not discouraged, and I think that you're a formidable force that we should be looking at. We are also not going to leave today's presentation and discussion without having to take a look at the women or the workforce in terms of security, presiding officers, protocol officers when it comes to COVID-19. We saw a lot of women being used this time. Women were really, really involved, and if you can have a look at some of them so that our people watching from home will get to understand that women have really participated in this particular election. Wonderful. And even for the first time, we actually had, okay, I see on the screen right now, one of the presiding officers. I think that was for Pentecost. Ekodeo, election observer. Women have really done so well, and we want to say thank you so much for making election 2020 a good one, a successful one. I see another woman trying to help the former president to get his ballot done, and even with our current president. You all have been amazing and awesome. I want to say a very big thank you to you. And not even leaving out our presidential candidates. We had 3 women, and
very strong women.
Very strong women. And if you can take a look at them, that will also be good. We would like to acknowledge them and say, well done.
Bridget?
A lot of women are looking up to you, and we will say,
yeah,
Ikua. And then we have our former First Lady there for the NDP party.
I like Ikua Donko so much because she's an example of what we call perseverance. Okay, when she went 2012. She didn't really make it. 2016, when she was disqualified, she came back again. 2020. And this time around, her picture and her name was on the ballot paper. So you don't give up as a woman because you are disqualified, because people try to get you not to stand for what you want, but you push for what you want, irrespective of the challenges that you face. You go for it. Don't let anybody undermine you. Don't let anybody demoralize you, especially when it comes to politics. If you feel that you have that sort of capability, if you feel that you have the competence, if you feel that you have the interest to go for it, why not? Give it a shot. who knows, you might be the next president.
Thank you very much. I mean, we need to have much more discussion around women in politics, but that's the much time can take, because we have something really interesting coming up from Nestle, and I wouldn't want you to miss this. Thank you so much, Beatrice. I'm so happy you made it today. But, you know, we're going to continue this conversation definitely, and you'll be back, right?
Sure. Anytime you call me, I'll definitely make time.
Thank you so much. So we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, it will be Nestle Moments. Do stay tuned. Welcome back to eTV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. Just before we went on the commercial break, I told you that it's goodies time because Nestle is coming to give away something really wonderful to very lucky people. So you need to sit very close to your screen, and then Sam is going to give us some questions, and if you answer them correctly, then you've gotten the chance to win yourself a hamper. Okay, so who is presenting this to us today? We have the Marketing Services Manager of Nestle. She has joined us right now and she's ready to give away. She's Santa today, okay? Welcome, Samantha Wutofe. You look wonderful.
Oh, thank you. I'm learning from you.
Really?
Nice to be here.
Thank you so much. All right, so if you look this way, you see the beautiful hamper? It's so, so nice. And Nestle is going to be giving away hampers looking like this to the lucky people. So first, she's going to be telling us a story. And if you listen well, you'll be able to get your answers from the story she's telling. But she's very smart, I know. She's going to ask the question in a way that you may not really get it right, but you have to show that you're good viewers of African Women's Voices show. Okay, so Sam, let me not take it away from you. I know you're coming to give us goodies, but just tell us again, why are you here for reassurances?
Okay, so thank you once again and good evening to your viewers. So we know it's been a tough year, right? It's been a tough year. We've come towards more or less the end. We're coming up to Christmas. And so we just wanted to bring a smile to a few of your viewers' faces this evening.
Thank you. And this smile, so tell us how you're going to be putting this smile on the faces of our viewers.
Okay, so are you ready? So basically what we want to do is give away some hampers, 3 hampers to 3 of your lucky viewers.
Okay.
Now, the first thing I want to say is that this hamper, if you include the casing and everything, is worth over 300 cedis, right? 350 cedis to be precise. Now, it's full of Nestle goodies, okay? And if you actually look at the casing, because Nestle, we work towards reducing single-use plastics. This is why we are considering the environment and we have a basket like this. So it's in a beautiful case with beautiful products inside.
Wow. Okay, so let's get to the part where people get to start winning.
Okay. All right, but before I do that, as you said, I'm going to tell a story. And in the story, there will be some key points. So basically, your viewers have to listen attentively, and they will be able to get the answers from there.
Okay.
So right now, listening is key. But before I do that, I want to ask you, African Women's Voices or eTVGhana, how long has it been in operation?
11 years.
11 years?
Yes.
11 years?
Yes, 11 years.
I'll say it one more time, 11 years.
11 years.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you too. So can I proceed with my Christmas
go
story?
ahead. Yes.
Okay, so thank you. So once upon a time, okay, well, let's start it this way. Nestle was founded 154 years ago and has been in the Ghana market for 63 years. Nestle currently has a range of products that they market in Ghana. These products include evaporated milk, Nescafe, Chocolim, Nido, Cerelac, Milo, or some say Milo, and Maggi, including Maggi shrimp, and not to mention a few. So we have a lot of products that are fortified with iron. Iron fortified foods can help with normal blood formation and of course other health benefits. So the products we have that are fortified with iron are Milo or Milo, Nido, Maggi shrimp and Cerelac. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for patronizing our products. Want to wish you a happy holiday and the best for the new year.
Okay.
So that ends my story.
Ding dong. It's time for us to begin to win. So let the questions begin to flow.
Okay, so you know something? Do you mind if you asked, so how are we going to do this? Because your view is for 3 lucky viewers. So we ask, if you don't mind, if you ask the questions, and then what happens next in terms of the viewers responding?
Okay, they're going to call in.
Oh,
The
wow.
numbers are on the screen. We even have a WhatsApp number here too. So they could either call in or send in a WhatsApp
Okay.
and then to the question. So we could ask a question and then see if somebody on WhatsApp can give us the answer.
Okay, which one do
Okay.
you prefer? Should I read or you read?
I think you should read the first one.
Okay, so the first question is, name 2 of our Nestle products that are fortified with iron. So name 2 of the products that I mentioned 4, didn't I? So
Yes.
just name 2 that are fortified with iron. That's one of the questions.
Okay. So name 2 of the products that are fortified with iron. You could just do it through the WhatsApp or the phone line is on the screen. You could also call in.
Okay.
So the producers are going to prompt us once we have somebody with an answer.
Okay.
So do not miss this, okay? The number is on the screen right now, 0555-657278.
Okay. And there are
Fast
2
finger.
other questions
Okay.
that I'll ask. So normally what we say is that they have to answer all 3 questions correctly in order to win this lovely hamper.
Okay.
But of course, it's up to you. Do you want it to be just if they answer one question right? I mean, it's entirely up to you. But
Well,
I
let's
can
get the questions out. I'm sure that we'll be able to manage how the things go through.
Just,
Okay,
yeah.
we have a first caller
Oh,
already.
wow, okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Nanaya.
Nanaya, where are you calling us from?
I'm calling you from Tema.
Okay, all right. So the question, so which of the products from Nestle, 2 of them that is fortified with iron?
Milo and Cerelac.
Okay, so hold the line for the second question.
So the second question is, what year was Nestle founded? What year was Nestle founded?
Wow.
So do you want the next question? Let's pass this and go to the next question. So what's the next question?
Yes, please.
Okay, and the next question or the last question will be, what year was the station, what year did this station start operating? I believe you heard.
Yeah, you heard
Our
me when I
host-
said it,
yes.
eTVGhana. What year?
Yes, that's, they just celebrated their 11th years anniversary in
Okay.
October.
All right, all right, all right. You're an ardent listener and viewer. So my producer is going to get in touch with you, okay? So hold the
All
line.
right.
Hold the line. They'll get in touch with you. Okay. All right. So do we have another caller or producer? Do we have somebody on WhatsApp who has responded? Do we have somebody on WhatsApp who has responded yet? Nobody on WhatsApp yet. Okay. All right. So you've heard the 3 questions. You need to win this. I'm sure a lot of them are.
I
okay,
can't
we have
go back
another
home.
caller.
Oh, fantastic. Because I didn't want to go back home with this hamper
Exactly.
or to the office.
Junior, please.
Junior, how are you and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Kumasi.
Okay. All right. Tell us. How is Kumasi today?
Oh, we're all doing well.
Okay, nice. So let's go again. So which of Nestle's product is fortified with iron? 2 of them.
Milo and Nido.
Okay, so when was Nestle founded?
154 years ago.
154 years ago? Okay, the next question is, when was eTVGhana founded?
11 years ago.
11 years ago. Okay, you did not get all the answers correctly, but maybe our producer is going to consider you. So please hold the line. They're going to talk to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Let's see if we have one lucky winner again.
But can I plead on behalf of that caller?
Okay, please.
Yes, there was a way the question was asked. So you're right in that it wasn't answered correctly, but there was some definite truth in there. So I just wanted to add that.
Okay.
Because in the Christmas spirit,
In the Christmas spirit.
Yes.
Okay, so she says that's fine, okay? So maybe we should give the correct answers because at least we need our audience to know what the correct answers are anyway.
Okay,
The third person is still yet to come through, and I'm wondering, do we have somebody on WhatsApp right now as a third person? A last caller is in. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, what's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm
Jinyami from where?
Somenya.
Somenya. Okay, so please tell us, which of Nestle's products is fortified with iron? 2 of them.
Okay. Okay, we have below and then Indo.
Okay, correct. So when was Nestle founded?
Oh.
The next question is, when was eTVGhana founded?
Oh, I want that to know.
Okay, thank you very much for trying. Okay, so now we're going to be giving out the correct answers now because we've had 3 callers coming already. So what would be the correct answers? They got the first one, which is Milo, Maggie, Cerelac, Nido.
So before we carry on, so we had 3 hampers. Have we got 3 winners?
We've gotten them, yes.
Okay, because actually 2 people did not get the year
answers correctly.
right. Yes, but the questions again: name 2 of the Nestle products that are fortified with iron. And so if you said either Milo, Maggie shrimp, Cerelac, and Nido. If you said 2 out of those 4, you would have been correct.
Okay.
And I heard people mention that.
Okay.
Where I had a challenge was, what year was Nestle founded? Yes. So actually Nestle was founded in 1866. But I did say 154 years ago, so that's also...
So they should just do the math. 2020 minus 154, you get the answer.
You'd have got the answer. But in the spirit of Christmas, I think that's acceptable to say 154. But I only heard 1 person say that.
Okay.
And then the last one, which everybody got, which is good news for eTVGhana, is what year did the station start operating? And I think you're best
11 years ago.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. So thank you so much, Samantha, for passing through. Thank you, Nestle, for bringing all these goodies to our wonderful viewers. I want you to stay tuned to us and then watch the rest of our interesting lineup for you. The repeat broadcast of this show is on Saturday at 12, okay? So if you didn't get to start watching from the beginning, Saturday, 12 o'clock, we're coming back. And then I'd like to say thank you again for always being with us. And thank you to all those who have helped us put this program together from the first season till now. My producer, Lorenda, thank you so much. And for research in today's program, it hasn't been easy. Joel, thank you. Joseph, thank you very much. Ellie, thank you so much. I also want to thank our programs manager, Mrs. Nosisado. Thank you for all the support. Our cameraman, DOP. I mean, a lot of people have done wonderfully well to make sure that the program is well packaged. And we say thank you so much. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy, happy New Year. And to our sponsors, Voltic, thank you. We appreciate you. My Hair by Awo's Hair, thank you. And then to the latest baby sponsor, we have our Lizzie's Tomato Mix. If you haven't tried Lizzie's Tomato Mix, I need you to go to your vendor right now and begin to ask for it because jollof this year has to be exciting. And it can only be so with Lizzie's Tomato Mix. Do enjoy eTV. Bye-bye.